أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Okay, we'll move it.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله يا الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا حبيبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. أما بعد، قال الله تبارك وتعالى: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى. ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. My brothers and sisters, I have recited Surah Al-Duha from beginning to the end. The meaning of this surah is as follows. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the dispenser of mercy. Allah swears by saying, in the name of the glorious sun. And by the night, as it becomes peaceful, O Prophet Muhammad, your Lord has neither forsaken you nor has become displeased with you. Surely the hereafter is far better for you than this present life. And of course your Lord will give you as much of that which will make you pleased. Did he not find you an orphan and give you shelter? Did he not find you unaware of the path and guided you? And he found you in need, and he made you need-free. Therefore, as for the orphans, do not oppress them, and for the beggars, do not scold them. And about the bounty of your Lord, do talk. My brothers and sisters, the reason why I have chosen this particular surah today is because of what's happened to the asylum seekers in our country recently. You know, this government has decided to deport asylum seekers to Rwanda. So, a few days ago, the government had a plane ready, waiting in its airfield to take 7 people to another country and put them there as asylum seekers. Amongst them, there was a 25-year-old Kurdish young man who was strapped into a restraining harness like a dog. His cry was, he was seeking asylum. He said in his interview, I felt like I'm going to die. It felt like nothing I have ever gone through before. He begged the security guards not to force him to the aircraft. But they did. On a audio recording to his friend, when he called him, he can be heard screaming of pain. And you can also hear others shouting. This 25-year-old, his name is Zoran, he says, the officers told me, if you try to escape or run away, your situation will become even more terrible. Ladies and gentlemen, I told them, he said, I did not want to go to Rwanda, but I had a belt on my stomach and I was handcuffed. He came from Iran and he said, if I go back to Iran, I'll get killed. The plane did not fly because the European Human Rights Commission intervened and put an injunction on it, asking British courts to look into it again a bit more thoroughly. I can tell you, brothers and sisters, that the asylum seekers are not criminals. Refugees who come to our country are not criminals. They escape persecution, war, occupation, bombs and bullets. They cross the continent, they cross the seas for many. And many have perished in our sea, and many have perished in the Mediterranean Sea. Many have perished en route wanting to come to the UK. Their crime is that they were looking for a better place to make a better living, so that they could support their families and take them out of the misery of the wars and the famine and the occupation, bombs and guns and instabilities and dictatorships and awful experiences that they've been encountering and enduring on a daily basis. That's their crime. And our government, British government, all this time was acceptable to granting asylum seekers a bit more space, a bit more latitude. But now this current government has decided, no, we don't want any asylum seekers here. Apparently there is a legal route by which you can seek asylum in Britain. But a lie, and a lie, and a big lie. Don't fall for such a lie. For you to come to Britain, it's an island. You can't just come here. You have to come from another country. You have to board a plane. You have to show a ticket to a plane. You have to show your visa. You have to show your documents. You can't just jump on a plane. You're not allowed. Nobody can come to Britain through legal, in quote unquote, so-called legal route to seek asylum, because all doors of normal travel is shut to asylum seekers and refugees. So what do? They jump on a boat, a dinghy, awful criminal gangs that operate in the shores of France and Spain, or Morocco, or Libya, or other parts of the country. They bring people over, giving them a rickety, almost, it's not even seaworthy type of a boat. And often they sink and many die. Why do these people risk their life to come to this country? Why would they? Brothers and sisters, if the same policy was in place, Priti Patel's parents won't be here. She is now the Home Secretary. Nadim Zahawi, the Education Secretary's family, will not be here. Many families won't be here today, who came here seeking asylum and refuge from abject poverty, from war, from famine, from occupation, bombs, guns, and misery. Is that a crime? No, it's not a crime. In fact, it is our Islamic and moral and human duty to protect one another when somebody comes and knocks on your door asking for refuge and asylum. It's an obligation on everyone. When a group of people came to Medina seeking asylum, Rasulullah said, "Your asylum is my masjid." He opened the door of the masjid and they stayed in the masjid. In fact, for Ashab al-Suffah, he opened up and extended the masjid, and 200 to 300 of them stayed in the masjid, were fed by the Prophet and the Muslims in the masjid, lived in the masjid until they could sort themselves out. They were part and parcel of the Muslim community. They were not rejected. They were not thrown away on an island far away from our home. They were not banished by an aeroplane or a boat to a different country. It's our duty and an obligation to look after people who come and seek asylum. The excuse current government is saying, "Oh, these are bogus asylum seekers." What's a bogus asylum seeker? Somebody who has come for economic reason. Economic reason is also a good ground for asylum. If I am dying, I have no food to feed my family. If I see my parents dying because there is no prospect of giving them medication for their illnesses. If I see my children dying because of starvation. If I see my family slowly but surely deteriorating, I am entitled to seeking a better place somewhere else in the world. Allah's world, He has created this. The whole world belongs to you and me. Who are you, British government or European government, to prevent a human being from traveling from one end of this earth to the other, seeking better life? Who are you to stop people from traveling? Who? Who gave you that right? Let me take you back. Do you think Allah created the United Kingdom and gave you the title for United Kingdom and said the United Kingdom will have these boundaries, will have this law, will have this national anthem, will have this flag, and nobody from outside the United Kingdom is allowed into this land? No, Allah didn't create a country like this. Allah did not create a single country in the world. Allah created the world for the whole of humanity. From Adam alayhi salam until Qiyamah, the whole of this world is everybody's. First World War, Second World War, the product of those two world wars is what we see today, the modern construct of nation states. Each country has drawn a border for itself, has created a flag and an anthem, an identity. I am Bangladeshi, I am Pakistani, I'm Indian, I'm Afghani, I'm this, I'm that. Arbitrarily often divided nations into small chunks where a person's front yard was cut through. Half of the yard was in India, the other half went to Pakistan when India was divided into two parts by a British civil servant who had never been to India before. He sat down with a map and he just drew a line. It didn't matter whose heart was broken. It didn't matter whose property was destroyed. It didn't matter which family was divided. It didn't matter how much blood could be spilled on any part of the world. It didn't matter because it served British interest and their colonial interest. And you and I are proud of our nation states and our countries because Britain created it for you and I. And we celebrate our national anthem and national identity as if it's some sacred, holy grail. has come from the heavens. No, no, no. All of those countries are modern constructs and they cause division and derision amongst humanity. And now somebody who wants to come from India to England, anyone wants to come from Bangladesh to England, Pakistan to England, the country which was pretty peaceful, pretty normal, very successful, the richest country in the world, the whole of India before the British went and divided it, decimated it, stole all the wealth that you could imagine, more than it could, starved the nation to death, killed many who opposed the occupation. British government says you can't come now. What do you mean you can't come now? You stole the wealth. These people are following their money. They're coming to the country that stole their money. They're coming to reclaim their money. You don't like my words? Too bad you don't like it. One wrong is wrong. Two wrongs don't make it right. Putting them on a plane and sending them to Rwanda doesn't solve the problem. Huh? Paying Rwanda millions of pounds is not going to solve the problem. Whole of the Middle East was carved up by Britain. My home country, Britain. It's my home. I'm very happy to be British, believe you me. But I hate unethical foreign policies. And I'm here to tell you, Muslims should not be ashamed and embarrassed for standing up and saying to the government, as a Muslim, I oppose your policy. Why? Because it contradicts Islam, it contradicts human rights, and it contradicts civilizational values. One human being must protect another human being whenever a human being seeks protection, asylum, and help. Have you forgotten your history? Priti Patel and Boris Johnson and the likes. Have you forgotten? It wasn't that long ago. You went to the Middle East, you took over the Middle East, and you carved up the Middle East according to your whims and wishes. You gave one to one nutter here, another one part to another nutter over there. The nutters who supported you, the nutters who said we will serve, you serve. You gave them countries upon countries. You gave them the oil fields that they would be able to provide you with oil for the rest of their life, leaving those nations in poverty, in abject poverty, in divided states, in a state that they will never be able to come together and build a nation ever again for themselves. You made the misery for those people, and now you say people from Middle East cannot come to this country and seek asylum. You say that? How dare you speak like that? It doesn't end, brothers and sisters. That's the old story. I can forget, overlook the old story. That's old past. 100 years ago it happened. Okay, let's forget about it for a minute. 100 years, for the last 100 years, what has my government done in Britain when it comes to providing freedom, helping people to become free, helping people to realize the value of electing their own government, accounting their own government? What have they done? Zero. In fact, they've supported dictators and despots all around the Middle East. They top up the royal family of Saudi Arabia, give them all support that they need and tell them, you remain the rulers of Saudi Arabia. They create Jordan and give small land to Jordanians, that family, and they say, you stay, they will support you. Remember Donald Trump in an interview, he said, we supply you, we support you, that's why you're in power. Whole of Middle East. Whole of Middle East was made into a mess by British and French unethical foreign policies. And when people come to seek asylum from those countries, you're not allowed. The hypocrisy doesn't end there, my brothers and sisters. If you are blue-eyed blonde from Ukraine, British ministers are opening their homes saying, come, welcome. You can come and stay in my house. But if you're black, brown, Muslim, a person from those countries that we really don't want to look back because it reminds us of our rotten foreign policies and rotten history, you're not welcome. Not only are you not welcome, if you land in our country, we'll put you in a plane and send you to Rwanda with a one-way ticket. I've come to Britain to seek asylum. You're sending me to Rwanda with a one-way ticket. Huh? Defies all logic. You know who should be on that plane going to Rwanda? Should be Priti Patel. You know who should be on that plane going to Rwanda permanently with a one-way ticket? It should be Boris Johnson and his likes. Rasulullah is reminded by Allah, "Oh Muhammad, did we not find you an orphan? Oh Muhammad, did we not find you an orphan and did we not look after you? Did we not find you wondering about guidance and did we not give you guidance? Did we not find you so dependent and we made you free?" Allah says that in the Quran in Surah Al-Duha. Did we not find you and did we not free you? My brothers and sisters, you and I as believers, as Muslims, when we say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, we are free free from everybody, free from all power, all dependency. I'm free because Allah has made me free. Human beings who are looking for freedom in different parts of the world, they can't find the freedom because we support and sustain dictators and despots. We give them arms to their teeth. We make sure they stay on their tops, on their heads, and we make sure that they don't find way forward. And then we say, you can't come to my country seeking asylum. Hypocrisy, hypocrisy, hypocrisy. As a Muslim, as an Imam, I'm duty bound to stand here and tell you the truth. Don't fall for those lies and rubbish. Allah has made this world for all of us. Every single one of us. Every human being should be free to travel the world anywhere and seek to live, work. Of course, not occupy. If I go to Bangladesh or Pakistan, if I go to France or Germany, if I've got the money and the means to be able to buy, I should be free to buy a piece of land or a house if I can afford it and build my own home. Who are you to stop me from doing so? Who gave you the right to create something called passport and visa and prevent other human beings from traveling? Who gave you the right to call other human beings illegal? Can a human being ever be illegal? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The modern idea of nation state, modern idea of citizenship, modern idea of visa and passport, modern idea of national anthem, borders, all of this makes no sense because it prevents human beings from being free, truly free. If you're in America, you can travel all around America free, no problem, it's okay. If you're in Europe, you can be free. All across Europe, 27 countries you can travel free. But if you're a Muslim looking for creating something similar in Muslim countries, all hell will break loose. America, Britain will be the first one to stop you from creating a federation of Muslim countries to come together and create a free space where Muslims of those nations could vote freely, do economic trade freely, travel freely, live freely, and educate their children freely. It will be a huge price to pay. Just like some Muslims paid in Egypt. They gained their freedom, they elected Morsi, threw Morsi out. Poor guy died in prison. May Allah have mercy on his soul. Many who stood for that parliamentary election and who won have been executed by current dictator Sisi, and Sisi gets red carpet when it comes to Britain. Mohammed bin Salman openly and clearly murdered Khashoggi or ordered the murder of Khashoggi. He gets red carpet treatment when it comes to Britain. All dictators get red carpet treatment. They buy houses in Britain. Only reason why Britain took a policy against Russia was because Russia invaded Ukraine. Otherwise, Russian money we were swimming in Russian money. Houses were bought by Russian oil oligarchs. Illegal money was being thrown left, right, and center. Illegal money was being paid to the governing party, and illegal money was being paid to many of our ministers. Even our prime ministers were beneficiaries of illegal money from Russia. Suddenly, Russian money has become problematic because it has invaded Ukraine. Saudi money is still okay. UAE money is still okay. Kuwaiti money is still okay. Have you ever asked questions, where did they make those money from? They've made those money by stealing the wealth of their nation. Those rulers, those people who are on the top, the despots and dictators, they've made money by stealing the wealth of their nation. And when those people come to seek asylum in your country, you can't come to my country. The door is closed. You've taken my wealth. You've destroyed my country. You've divided my nation. You've ruled my country. You are now supporting dictators and despots. You've put rulers who oppress us left, right, and center. And I am not allowed to come and seek asylum in your country. Where should I go? Where do you want me to go? Brothers and sisters, as Muslims, we should have a clear understanding of not just I pray 5 times a day and fast in the month of Ramadan. Imam should not be talking about politics. That is a colonial thinking. That is a colonial thinking. Anyone who thinks like that, you're being bought by the colonial masters. Your brains have been bought by them. Because that's what they taught you and I in India. Imams should not talk about politics. Politics should be taught by the dictators and despots. Such a thinking is wrong. Yes, Imams should be talking about politics from the pulpit. And you don't like it? Go and check it out from the Quran and Sunnah. How Rasul addressed issues of the world from his pulpit and how he solved them. So I am inviting you all I'm inviting you all to stand up and tell the truth. Tell the truth. The truth what? Our beloved Prophet Muhammad was an orphan. Our Rasul was the first of the asylum seekers. He went from Mecca to Medina seeking asylum, and people of Medina gave him asylum. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad opened up his masjid for asylum seekers. Whenever anyone came to ask for refuge for him, he opened up his door. He asked his companions to give away all their wealth to protect their brothers and sisters of humanity, not just faith. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad is the best example of protection, of supporting and doing everything possible for asylum seekers and refugees. How could Muslims turn their eyes and their faces and their bodies and their wealth and their persons away from asylum seekers and refugees? If we are true believers, we stand with the asylum seekers and refugees because they need our help and support. They do. And if our government speaks against it, enacts policies that are anti-Islamic, against human rights, against normal human civilization, we must stand and let it be known that we don't tolerate such nonsense. May Allah forgive us all for our failures. May Allah protect us all from all the miseries. And may Allah give asylum seekers and refugees refuge and asylum under His blessings and His protection. Wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Some of you may be thinking, Imam is slightly angry today. Yes, I am. When I see my brothers and sisters of humanity being treated so badly. So badly. And their only crime is that they were seeking asylum. Chained, locked, forcefully put in a plane, told not to speak, harassed, terrorized to their core, made to live in fear. Some of them wanted to kill themselves because they've never felt so unsafe. I not only feel angry, the nation feels angry. People feel angry. This is wrong in every count, in any civilization, under any measure, and under any count. So brothers and sisters, let us turn to Allah and His mercy and blessings and protection for you and I. You and I could be in that same boat, literally, one day. Could be. When I went to Africa, when I went to Gambia, when I went to Senegal, when I went around West Africa, and I saw with my own eyes the signs and remnants of the slave trade, the French, the British, the Spaniards, the Portuguese, the Westerners, the Dutch and others were so proliferating from and championing, not one, not two, not 100, but millions. They chained and took from African continent all the way to Europe, sold them as animals, the worst than animals, and enslaved them, treated them like animals, the worst than animals. They emblemed them with numbers, gave them Christian names, indoctrinated them with Christian belief and practices, took them away from their land, their homes, their properties, their families, their children, their mothers, their fathers, their faith and their destiny. Took them to other parts of the world. It was a robbery of a kind that cannot be described in words. It was a treachery of a kind that cannot be described in words. And when those people come and seek asylum, they're not allowed in this country. When those ancestors, the families of those countries come and seek asylum, they're not allowed here. How awful humanity, how awful human beings can be. That's the problem. So solution, I have a solution. I have a very clear solution. We need more workers in this country than we have at the moment in every field that you can think of. We have a shortage of nurses, doctors, strawberry pickers, builders. We have a shortage of taxi drivers, restaurateurs, waiters. We have a shortage of flower arrangement people. We have a shortage of nurses. We have a shortage in every field. And yet, asylum seekers and refugees, their doors are locked. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. We have gone into a self-destructive mode. I've never seen Britain like this before. And this Britain, where hatred, suspicion, and selfishness proliferates, I need to see a change in this Britain. I want to see Britain that it used to be when my parents came to this country. Open and hospitable to people. Welcoming to people. Wanting to change and mend the demons of the past. Britain I see today is celebrating the demons of the past. We need to change that discourse. Talk more, share your thoughts and ideas with people around you. Stand up against the government's policies. Write to your MPs, your councillors. Protest. Write to the newspapers. Demand a change in policy. Go to the airfield where those prisoners, those asylum seekers are in prison and are about to be boarded a plane. Go there and protest. Protest in front of Parliament. Let the world know that as Muslims, we're not just bystanders. We're active citizens of this country where we want to see a difference, and difference for all people to create a better society, healthier, happier, and more equitable society. Is that too much to ask? Not at all. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, forgive us, Ya Allah. Forgive us, Ya Allah. Forgive us, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, forgive humanity for their mistakes, Ya Allah. Forgive us for witnessing and not doing enough to prevent asylum seekers from being boarded with a plane and about to be taken out. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, Ya Allah. Protect asylum seekers and refugees, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, from every part of the world, free it from war and occupation. Free from dictators and despots, Ya Allah. Free all humanities from all troubles and turmoils, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, restore peace and stability on this earth, Ya Allah. Restore peace and stability on this earth, Ya Allah. Restore peace and stability on this earth, Ya Allah. We ask you to forgive us our mistakes, Ya Allah. We ask you to accept our jummah, Ya Allah. We ask you to accept our prayers, Ya Allah. We ask you to accept our sadaqat, our zakat, Ya Allah. We ask you to accept our sacrifices, Ya Allah. We ask you to protect Al-Aqsa, Ya Allah. We ask you to free Al-Aqsa, Ya Allah. We ask you to free Al-Aqsa, Ya Allah. We ask you to free Yemen from the wars, Ya Allah. We ask you to free Syria from the tyrants, Ya Allah. We ask you to free every part of the world that is in trouble, Ya Allah. We ask you to free Kashmir from occupation, Ya Allah. We ask you to free all parts of the world, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, we ask you, we beg you to guide the people of this country to your deen, Ya Allah. We ask you to guide the people of this country to your deen, Ya Allah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, give us shifa from shifa, Ya Allah. Give us shifa from shifa, Ya Allah. For those of us who are not well, give us shifa, Ya Allah. For those of us who have passed away, our families and friends who have passed away, have mercy on their souls, Ya Allah. Those of us who have lost our parents, Ya Arhamar Rahimin, have mercy on their souls, Ya Allah. For those of us who have our parents alive, give them long life, Ya Allah. Protect our children, Ya Allah. Keep them on your deen, Ya Allah. Guide them, Ya Allah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون والله يعلم ما تصنعون في الصلاة. As you know, that Imam Abdul Qadir, we can't hear you very clearly. Could you speak up, please?
Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. My brothers and sisters, I just need to say to you a few things. So many of you will think COVID has gone and it's not with us at all. I just need to be able to say to some of you to please just be careful still. There are many around us who have been infected in the last few weeks, and there appears to be a rise, not just in our Muslim community, but also I'm hearing from the other faith groups as well. In fact, in our own masjid here, Brother Nasir's family and him were all affected with the virus. My own daughter ended up in hospital with breathing issues with the virus just a week ago. And several other families from this masjid too, we have been told, have had it. So all I'm saying to you is, yes, the rules may have been put down or something like this, but it hasn't gone, and it's for those people who are vulnerable that we need to be a little bit careful. So I would even just say to the brothers and sisters who are vulnerable, wear your mask, you're standing shoulder to shoulder with people, and so many of you in the same spot. Now, during the next few days, the heat will increase. We've been contacted by Harringay Council about some initiatives that there are in case there are people struggling with this. We know it will go through until Sunday, inshallah. We hope that it will ease and people will be saved. drink lots of water, and check on your neighbours. And brothers and sisters, if you know of anyone who may need help, like with food or with delivery of anything, then please reach out to us and we can organise for them to get some help. Today, like last week, I'm appealing to you all to donate a few pounds so that we can support the food bank, where there are many, many families who are wanting and needing food items. LICS are asking for donations. We're not asking for the item to be brought to us. And it's really important. Now, last week, some of you came and gave back. We raised £130 from that. If we could do something similar this week, then we could go and buy the things that we need. Things are not getting easier for people, so I'm asking all of you, if you can, just a few pounds will help. Most families have only got us. We're the only ones that they can turn to, and we're the ones who should be able to help, even if it's a minor way. My brothers and sisters, we launched the Qurbani appeal last week, and Brother Brahim is collecting donations. The most needed amount of £65 will allow us to donate in many countries. However, there are prices for various countries. So please, my brothers and sisters, we need to raise that money to be able to distribute here and abroad to families who need the help at that time. And one update for you is many of you donated. If you remember, we raised the monies for 30 houses to be built in Syria, and together we raised 45,000 for that initiative. The brothers have gone and they are going to be coming back and telling us exactly what the position is with the erections of the houses, and you, those of you who have donated, will all be told about the progress. So inshallah, we're on the way to making a big difference to families who are really struggling and living in tents. Jazakallah khair, brothers and sisters.
Jazakallah khair, Sister Rabi, thank you. Just to give you more, brothers and sisters who are sick, we have many brothers and sisters that you've just heard that have been become ill recently with the COVID. We make love for them. One of our brothers, young brothers here, his name is Said. His mother has just gone into hospital now, Northwood Hospital now, just before the Jummah prayer. Again, very elderly, she's contracted the COVID. So please make dua for his mother as well. We have one auntie Bibi Rabi, who passed away this week. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. We have Auntie Brinkford, who also passed away. We also have Ahmed who passed away, and baby Rayyan Rabat, who was born literally a few hours and passed away. And we have Bibi Maryam Ghulam Ali, who is the daughter of our brother Ali, who also passed away. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. We make dua for all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all jannah with us and save all the hardships of their problem. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استووا التواصل يرحمني ويرحمكم الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون ولتكن منكم أمة يدعون إلى الخير ويأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر تؤمنون بالله. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. اللهم صل.
Jazakallah khairan. Just completed the day of Jummah. Sisters, for the way out, please, all you have to do, remember the announcement. As you heard, COVID is on the increase, so please do protect yourselves and each other. And the health benefits, please do stay well hydrated. Take your results. Take your results and each other. If anyone did get a chance to donate to the mosque before the prayer, please kindly do so on your way out. We have the cash boxes and we also have the card machines. So brothers and sisters, if you want to donate, whichever way is more convenient for you, you're going to use the cash boxes, you're more than welcome to do so, and you've got the card machines as well. Card terminals. Please do remember our Quran deed, and do remember our feedback and